In the ancient and mysterious town of Umuaka, a place where palm trees whispered to the wind and moonlight painted patterns on the red earth, there lived a tailor named Nkechi. People often said that Nkechi's hands were blessed because every cloth she touched came out perfect. Her shop sat at the center of the market, its doorway decorated with colorful fabrics that danced each time the wind passed. Customers flocked to her every day. Traders, farmers, young girls preparing for weddings, mothers attending naming ceremonies, even elders sent their apprentices to her. Everyone wanted a garment sewn by Nkechi the tailor. To the villagers, Nkechi was soft-spoken and hardworking. She never raised her voice. She never quarreled. She smiled politely and delivered her clothes on time. People trusted her so much that some even said she was the pride of Umuaka. But what no one knew was that Nkechi carried a secret deeper than the roots of the Iroko tree. Behind her gentle smile and perfect stitches, Nkechi practiced something dark, something hidden, something she prayed no one would ever discover. You see, Nkechi was not just a tailor. She was a woman who used her craft to bind the destinies of others. Her sewing machine was not ordinary. Her measuring tape was not ordinary. Even her needles were not ordinary. They were tools of a power she learned many years ago from a forbidden cult, a power she invoked every time she threaded her needle. When she measured a person's shoulder, she measured more than fabric. When she cut cloth, she cut deeper than cotton. And when she sewed, her stitches carried invisible chains designed to draw people under her spiritual influence. Anyone who wore clothes made by Nkechi unknowingly carried her spiritual mark. They became tied to her energy, connected to her shadow, pulled slowly into her secret circle. She didn't need incantations in public. She didn't need shrines. All she needed was fabric. Over time, villagers began acting strangely, though no one connected it to her. Strong men developed sudden weakness. Wise women found themselves acting confused. Young girls began walking in trances. Some woke up speaking strange words from distant eras. Some felt pulled toward places they didn't intend to go. Some even dreamt of dark forests and flickering flames. But no one suspected sweet, soft-spoken Nkechi, who sat quietly in her small shop sewing from dawn until nightfall. The more clients she had, the stronger she became. And the stronger she became, the deeper her power rooted itself in the town. People believed she was simply gifted. They never imagined she was weaving more than clothes. She was weaving destinies. She was stitching souls. But destiny has a way of bringing light to every hidden darkness. And Nkechi's secret was about to be uncovered in a way she never expected. One warm afternoon, a young woman named Adaora walked into Nkechi's shop. Adaora had returned from the city for the upcoming New Yam Festival. Her family wanted her to look her best, so they recommended Nkechi. Adaora admired the beautiful fabrics hanging around and chose the brightest yellow cloth, one that reflected sunlight like gold. Nkechi measured her silently, her eyes slightly narrowing as she worked. She kept smiling, but Adaora felt something strange in the air, something she couldn't explain. When the dress was ready, Adaora returned to pick it up. The moment she touched the fabric, a cold sensation shot through her palm. It felt like a whisper crawling across her skin. She shook it off, thinking maybe it was just her imagination. But later that night, as she lay with the dress beside her, sleep pulled her into a dream more vivid than reality. In the dream, Adaora wandered through a dark forest. The trees were tall and twisted. The wind hummed with distant voices. Ahead, she saw Nkechi standing barefoot before a large black cauldron. Around her hung countless dresses sewn for villagers. The dresses floated in the air like puppets, and each one glowed with a faint light. As Nkechi chanted, the glowing dresses pulled energy from the people they were connected to. Adaora recognized faces of villagers, faces of friends, even faces of the elders. And then she saw her yellow dress hanging among them, already glowing faintly. Adaora woke up trembling, drenched in sweat. Her heart pounded. She knew in that moment that the dream was not just a dream. It was a revelation, a warning. The next morning, Adaora took the dress straight to her grandparents, who were respected spiritual elders. They inspected the fabric, turning it over slowly. Their faces hardened. Their voices grew grave. They confirmed what Adaora feared. Nkechi had sewn spiritual chains into the dress. They performed a small test burning a thread from the hem, and the smoke turned black, swirling unnaturally before vanishing into thin air. The elders knew the town was in danger. That night, they called a secret council meeting. They warned the chiefs, they warned the hunters, they warned the spiritual guardians of Umuaka. The truth spread quietly through the town like a whisper of fire. By sunrise, everyone knew. The villagers marched to Nkechi's shop in a long, thunderous procession. Nkechi heard their footsteps and sensed danger. She tried to run, but when she stepped out of her shop, the ground beneath her twisted like a serpent, forcing her back. She tried calling on the spirits she once commanded, but her voice cracked. Her power suddenly felt weak, like smoke slipping through trembling fingers. The elders stepped forward, chanting ancient words of unbinding. The air grew thick. The fabrics hanging around Nkechi began to shake. Invisible strings snapped. Hidden charms burst into flames that gave off no heat. One by one, the spiritual bonds she had crafted melted away. The villagers felt their weight lift, like chains falling off their necks. Nkechi screamed not in pain, but in fear, as the very spirits she had enslaved rose against her. Her sewing machine rattled violently. Her measuring tape slithered to the ground like a snake. Needles shot out like tiny sparks, losing their power. Her tools no longer obeyed her. The elders commanded her to undo every wicked stitch she had cast. For hours she worked, trembling as she unbound each soul. Each time she severed a connection, her strength weakened, her voice cracked, her eyes dimmed. When the final bond was broken, Nkechi collapsed. Some say she was banished beyond the great hills, where she could harm no one again. Others whisper that the spirits dragged her into the forest she once visited in secret. No one truly knows. But one thing is certain, Nkechi's shop never opened again, and for generations afterward, no villager allowed their clothes to be sewn without prayer and blessing. The story of Nkechi the tailor became a warning passed from mother to daughter, from father to son. Not every beautiful design comes from a pure heart. Not every smiling face carries good intentions. And sometimes, evil hides in the most ordinary places, woven quietly into the threads of everyday life. If you enjoyed this story, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another thrilling African folktale. Thank you for listening.